Two Idiots and a Baby is an episode I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. For one thing, it's only the 4th episode of Drake and Josh ever, so it's an absolute classic from my childhood. And also, at the time of making this video, my fiance is 9 months pregnant, so by the time you're watching this, there's a pretty good chance I'll be the idiot with a baby. But the other reason I want to talk about this episode is because there's actually some upsetting drama surrounding it, and it involves one of the guest stars. Kimmy Robertson, an actress best known for her role on Twin Peaks, appears in this episode as Miss Galloway, the wife of Walter's boss. And fun fact about Kimmy Robertson, or not so fun fact, she's actually a close friend of Brian Peck. For those of you who don't know, Brian Peck is actually a convicted child predator who was arrested in 2003 on 11 charges related to the sexual assault of Drake Bell. I highly recommend watching Quiet on Set or listening to interviews with Drake Bell if you want to learn more. But basically, Brian Peck is a straight up monster, and he did some despicable things to Drake Bell when he was only a child. Oh yeah, and bro was literally pen pals with an infamous serial killer and was somehow still allowed to work with children. My god. So it's highly disturbing that Kimmy Robertson, who appeared on Drake and Josh, supports this guy and remains close friends with him. Even worse, she actually wrote a handwritten letter to the judge in support of Brian Peck, and what she wrote is completely unforgivable. In the letter, she talks about her experience guest starring on Drake and Josh by saying, "I had the misfortune of working on Drake Bell's TV show. I noticed this young man kept asking me about Brian and generally being sleuth-like." Then goes on to say, "I also noticed no gay male, either makeup, hair, or PA, wanted to be alone in a room with him. I believe with all my heart that Brian was pressured and pushed beyond belief before he caved in with Drake Bell. An outrageous, overtly gay, oversexed person with no idea what he is doing to Brian, Brian's family, and Brian's friends. He totally took advantage of Brian's willingness to help anyone who needs it." You gotta be fucking kidding me. I knew the letter was gonna be bad, but it's somehow 10 times worse than I could have ever imagined. She places all the blame on underage Drake Bell for what happened, saying he pressured his abuser, which is some nasty work. And she basically insults Drake by calling him a sex freak, which is a fucking wild thing to say about a minor, by the way, and seems to imply that Drake was obsessed with Brian Peck and that he must have wanted to pursue Brian because Drake is so overtly gay. Even though, for what it's worth, Drake has only ever publicly been in straight relationships, and he also had a wife and has a kid. The victim blaming of a child is just straight up evil and disgusting. And to come for someone that she personally worked with makes it even worse. She literally looked child Drake in the eye, worked alongside him, saw how young he was, and still blamed him for being assaulted by an adult. The only words I can say are fucking bitch. I'm so glad he called her nasty ass out for still being friends with a predator after the documentary aired. She is hard as fuck to look at, man. Straight up, she looks like the bitch from Weapons, if you've seen that shit. But honestly, guys, I don't want to let this trash heap of a human being ruin a classic episode of my favorite show. Drake Bell himself says in interviews that he loves Drake and Josh and looks back on it as a happy time in his life that gave him something to focus on besides the trial.
When I was on stage and the lights went up and Josh and I started doing our thing, it just kind of all went away. That was a time when I could just breathe and have fun. Even though there was all this tragedy and trauma, I look back at it fondly.
So if he can have that attitude, we're gonna keep on enjoying it ourselves. So today, we're taking a look back at Two Idiots and a Baby, which, by the way, the title is a spoof of the 1987 movie Three Men and a Baby, because Dan Schneider loves referencing old 80s movies that his child audiences would never understand. As always, if you guys like this one, please give us a like and maybe even subscribe. I might just find the closest cow and suck some milk straight from its udder if you do. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at AgroWasHere for a daily dose of nostalgia. And if you have any other episodes or shows you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. All right, let's dive in. So at 0 seconds into the episode, we already got the dogs out. And disgustingly, Josh is clipping his toenails on Drake's damn bed. Unacceptable. Not a newspaper, not a trash can in sight, just tossing them into the wind. Cut to the boys in their room where Drake is trying to play guitar in his his toenail bed. And Drake's outfit is denim, denim, denim. Brother's looking slick, eh? Josh is doing some woodworking, building a catapult, and this bedroom is not the proper location for that. Why is he not doing this project in the garage? By the way, they never tell you what he's building the damn catapult for. Why is he building a giant catapult? Drake complains that it's too loud, and Josh moves his project to the living room, which is still not the right location. Isn't that right near the table where they all eat? In California, wood shavings are known to cause cancer. Bro's trying to take out his entire family. So he's throwing his toenails around on people's beds, and now he's flipping sawdust onto the dining room table.
Josh? Josh, please turn that off. Your dad's on the phone in the kitchen.
Yeah, Josh hears Mom and reacts to what she says, even though he has earplugs on. When in the last scene, he couldn't hear Drake yelling from 1 foot away because of the same damn earplugs. Come on now. The parents say they're about to go out to dinner with Walter's boss, Mr. Galloway. But then Walter says, actually, no, we're not. Their babysitter just canceled on them, so now they're canceling on us.
You know, Drake and I could babysit for your boss. What? Babysit? What? But my band is playing tonight.
Couldn't Josh just babysit by himself? Why does he need Drake? It doesn't have to be a team effort. One teenager is enough to babysit a child, I'm pretty sure. And honestly, kind of a dick move on Josh's part. Volunteering yourself is one thing. Volunteering another person who already has plans is crazy work.
I'll call Mr. Galloway. You go finish doing your hair.
My hair is finished.
Whew, damn, brother's sleeping on the couch tonight. Cut to the garage where Drake's band is setting up. I guess for a last-minute rehearsal before the concert? But before Drake gets a chance to rehearse anything with them, Walter's boss shows up and they get called into the house to meet the baby. Was the band literally just sitting in the garage the entire time Drake was with Josh? He didn't seem like he was in any rush to get down there to practice. That's pretty wild.
I will help you until I have to leave with my band. After that, the baby is your problem.
That's perfectly reasonable. Again, Josh was the one who volunteered and Drake already had these plans. Honestly, Drake's being nice by agreeing to help at all. The mom gives them some baby gear and says he should sleep through the night, but if he doesn't, try using this stuff. And knowing all the context of everything, it's pretty fucking creepy to see this pedo lover with a bunch of baby items and holding a literal child, which thankfully in real life she doesn't have any kids. But it still grosses me out seeing her even portray a mom, knowing she actually loves child predators. It legit gives me the heebie-jeebies. But luckily, she's not in too many scenes in this episode, so her ugly, creepy ass doesn't take up too much screen time. And for all the yapping I'm doing about the human garbage who plays Miss Galloway, I should also mention that Larry Thomas, the actor who plays Mr. Galloway, previously played the soup Nazi on Seinfeld.
No soup for you! Come back 1 year!
And while we're at it, I'll also point out that the twins who portrayed the baby in this episode never pursued acting. This was their only role. But they are, in fact, legally old enough now to enter a bar and order a drink in real life. So there's that. The adults leave, and Megan wastes no time before pulling a devious little prank. She glues down the phone, then calls it, waking the baby up right away since they can't answer it to stop the ringing. And there are only 24 seconds that pass by in between her applying the glue and Josh tugging on the phone and saying it's stuck. I don't think even the strongest glue in the fucking world can become sticky that fast. In fact, no, look at this shit. It takes 30 to 60 minutes for Gorilla Glue's fast drying formula to even work. No shot, brother. The phone gets thrown across the room into the fish tank and breaks. Those poor fishes, man. Pretty sure Drake kills them in the pilot episode as well. Yeah, he does. Next, we get a montage of the baby crying, and immediately, the phone is back on the table in its normal spot, undamaged and no longer wet. Fuck you. They try all kinds of things to get the baby to stop crying, but why aren't they trying the teddy bear? The mom said it's his favorite.
This one's his favorite. This one always puts him right to sleep.
Are they stupid? Also, one shot shows Drake and Josh playing with the baby's pop-up toy, and you might recognize that clip from being featured in the season 1 and 2 intro. Pretty cool, right? No, you don't think it's cool? Oh, fuck me, I guess. Of course, nothing they try works, and they resort to just crying with the baby, and I fear that's what my life will become. Dear God. Back in the garage, Drake's bandmates say they perform in 2 hours and ask if they can please rehearse. Drake says he can't because the baby won't stop crying.
Well, maybe his diaper's, filled?
That always makes me cry.
Josh tells Drake to check the diaper, and they really didn't think to do that until the bandmate suggested it. No one thought maybe the baby crying nonstop could possibly need a diaper change? Isn't Josh supposed to be smart? The drummer, Drake, and Josh all sniffed the baby's butt to confirm he needs a diaper change. And after Josh smells the dirty diaper, he faints. And you can clearly see the pad he falls on at the bottom of the screen. If that was me, I would have been falling on straight cement. I would have given my body over for the role, man. You need true dedication in these parts. Cut to them washing the baby's butt in the sink, and he pees on them. Oh my God, I wish Megan would close her damn mouth. They dry themselves off with 2 diapers. Why? Why diapers? They're in the kitchen. There must be towels, paper towels. Fucking why? And then say they're out of diapers? The mom gave them an entire crate full of random junk and toys, but didn't give them more than 2 diapers? Why wouldn't she give them more diapers than that? What? I swear, this dumb bitch, her character is almost as stupid as her in real life. So they put the kitchen curtains on the baby as a makeshift diaper, and then for the first time, they finally remember he likes the singing teddy bear. So Drake grabs it, but unfortunately, snaps its neck off. He literally snapped the bear's neck off like it killed his family or something. They sing the baby to sleep themselves instead, and I guess he's wearing this bulky ass curtain diaper under that onesie? I don't know how they fit clothes over top of that thing. And I like how Josh goes hard in this scene with his singing performance. Brother was getting me going. The baby falls asleep, which is damn cute, and right away Drake leaves for his gig. Josh panics that he's now alone to deal with the baby, but tries to calm himself down a little.
Crying has stopped. My catapult's almost done. The baby's gone. The baby's gone!
Josh starts tearing the place apart looking for the baby, and he even goes and checks in the garage, which, okay. He had to open the door to get there. So, honor student Josh is really thinking the baby let himself out of the carrier, got himself down, walked over to the garage, then opened the door.
I know. Marco!
Okay, that's pretty funny. Cut to the concert venue where Drake's band is supposed to play in 20 minutes.
Why do you smell like a dirty diaper?
Oh my God. He didn't change his shirt after the baby peed all over him? What the hell, Drake? That's nasty. Was he that committed to the denim outfit, brother? Dude, piss-soaked denim. It must smell so terrible. You're kidding me.
Why do you smell like a dirty diaper?
Because I actually changed one, unlike you who just left us alone.
Like the way you left Josh all alone to come here?
2 things here. 1, I don't get why she purposely guilts Drake and makes him feel bad for abandoning Josh. Does she want him to ditch the band? Losing your lead singer before a performance is a fucking disaster. And 2, their dialogue is actually referencing a scene that was cut from the episode. It seems kind of weird how Drake says, "You left us all alone" to this girl, but in the after credits scene, which was cut from the main episode, we see Drake asking her for help, and then she takes off in her car.
Rena, you're a girl. You change him.
Okay, sure, yeah. One sec.
Josh calls Drake panicking and leaves him a voicemail freaking out, but he's interrupted when he hears the sound of the catapult going off. He runs upstairs and the catapult is aimed at the open window and has the baby's curtain diaper on it. And I'll be honest, I remember seeing this as a kid and thinking, holy shit, they killed off the damn baby. But let's be real here. The last time we saw that baby, he had on a onesie over top of this curtain diaper. So the baby would have had to go all the way upstairs into Drake and Josh's bedroom, open the damn window, climb into the catapult, strip, and then launch himself, leaving his curtain diaper behind as evidence. Come on, Josh. You're supposed to be the smart one. At the concert, 2 girls flirt with Drake, but then they comment that it smells like dirty diapers. Yeah, that's because Drake's nasty ass is wearing his piss-soaked shirt out in the public like that's an acceptable thing to do. Brother, you're not homeless. Go get another shirt. Josh tests the catapult with a football to see where it would have shot the baby and realizes it landed on the roof. So he thinks that must mean the baby is also on the roof, and he freaks the hell out. Just then, the Galloways call. The dumb bitch broad of a mother says she wants to talk to her infant son. Okay, so Josh imitates the baby and says, "Mama," causing her to freak out and insists they leave dinner right away because she wants to be there to hear the baby's first words. So that means this entire plot was for nothing. The whole reason this dinner was important to Walter was because he wanted to impress his boss. And now they're all just leaving the restaurant before the food's even been ordered. They're all still looking at the damn menus. At the concert, Drake hears the voicemail from Josh freaking out right before his band is supposed to go on. But it seems like he decides to stay and play the show anyway.
Just stay on the roof. Uncle Joshy's coming to the rescue. So, just hanging there?
Drake shows up, so we get the big reveal that he decided to leave the gig and come back to help after all. Aw, and this cracker shows no urgency at all about giving him the ladder back. In fact, they have a whole ass conversation about what happened to the baby and why Josh thinks he's on the roof, and Drake takes his sweet time getting the ladder back up. And Josh has some impressive upper body strength. In this scene alone, he dangles for 1 minute and 20 seconds. After hearing the baby's missing and that his diaper is found on the catapult, Drake confronts Megan right away about taking him as a prank. And why is Drake so much smarter than Josh here?
Oh, come on!
Josh is still hanging from his damn fingertips when the parents show up, and their reaction to seeing him in this dangerous situation is wild.
Get down from there.
This minute!
Get down here this minute is crazy. Also, we see Josh free hang for another 36 seconds in this scene, which brings his total time spent hanging from his fingertips on screen to 1 minute and 56 seconds. Mere seconds away from beating the 2-minute hang boardwalk game, which is very impressive, man. Come on.
Catch me!
The dummy that lands on Walter's boss is absolutely hilarious. It has no ankles. The legs are like 2 flimsy sticks without any meat on them whatsoever. Just fantastic. More dummies should be used in TV shows as often as possible, in my opinion. Josh tries to stall everyone from going back inside, but fails miserably. But once they're in, Drake and Megan are singing to the baby calmly like nothing ever happened. The mom starts hassling the sleeping baby to say mama, and he's sleeping, you dumb bitch. Oh yeah, and when Walter's boss and the creature go to leave, you can actually see the boom mic at the top of the screen. And you could actually see the microphone in Josh's done as well. And as he walks to his seat, there's actually a boom mic visible at the top of the screen, proving that not only is Drake's life falling apart without Josh's friendship, but the actual production quality of the show has began to suffer as well. Which I just find crazy. I never noticed as a kid that you could ever see the microphone in these episodes. Also, no one even considers paying the boys for their babysitting time. Unacceptable. And now Drake is all over the couch with his T-shirt still on. Disgusting and not okay.
Boys, why do the kitchen curtains smell like pee?
Really? So these crackers put the pee-pee diaper curtains back up without washing them? I'm pissed, man. And there you have it. That's 2 idiots and a baby. Or another name for it could be one pedo lover and an otherwise great cast and episode. Because aside from Kimmy Robertson being a complete loser and waste of space, it's actually a really funny episode that holds up extremely well. It's funny to think how Drake Bell has a son and Josh Peck has 3 sons. So the scene of the baby peeing on them in the sink may have in fact become a reality for both of them at this point. I love how stupid the humor is with Josh getting convinced that the baby somehow flung himself out the window through a catapult. It's straight up a 10 out of 10 for me. And they honestly just don't make them like this one anymore. But enough of me yapping. What do you guys think of 2 idiots and a baby? Did the annoying mom character ruin this episode for you? Or were you able to ignore her ugly ass and still enjoy this one? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments and let's kick it. And as always, I gotta give a big shout out to my Agro Army, the channel members and Patreon members. Look, let's be real, let's not mince words. I would change all of your diapers if I could, as slowly as possible. But let's be real, it ain't gonna happen, man. Thank you so much for the support, it means the world to me. If you're still here, that's amazing, dude. Check out some other videos, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. Alright, thanks for listening.